Top 10 Rarest Gemstones in 2025. In the Earth's vast hidden vaults, there are so rare and elusive gems that even seasoned gemologists can spend their entire careers without ever setting eyes on one. In 2025, rarity is no longer about price. It is about presence, provenance, and the incredible journey from the Earth's core to man's hands. This is not a list of the flashiest gems, but of the rarest gems in the world today, each with a story, a secret, and a soul. Don't forget to press and hold that like button, leave a comment, and hit subscribe before we begin. Ranked 10th, Black Opal, the rarest flame beneath the earth. When you hold a black opal from Lightning Ridge in your hand, you're not just admiring a gemstone, you're witnessing one of Earth's rarest natural performances. Black opal doesn't merely sparkle like any other gem, it ignites. Its famed play of color, a mesmerizing explosion of neon green, fire red, cobalt blue, and violet, dances across a deep, inky black body tone that amplifies its brilliance like a galaxy seen through the void of space. This isn't color, it's light breaking the rules. And it happens only in one place on Earth, Lightning Ridge, a remote, rugged region of New South Wales, Australia. Under tons of stubborn rock, miners claw through ancient sediment without guaranteeing success. For every 1,000 tons of earth moved, they might uncover a sliver of this spectral fire. That's why a fine black opal over 5 carats, with full spectrum color and an actual black body, can command more than $25,000 per carat, if you can find one. Even veteran gem dealers go their entire careers without ever cutting one. What makes black opal exceptional isn't just its rarity or price, it's its individuality. No two are alike. Each one is a living fingerprint of geologic chaos and cosmic timing. Collectors don't chase it just for its beauty, they chase it for what it represents, a natural defiance of uniformity. Diamonds are forever, sure, but black opal? Black opal is a moment of wild perfection, captured in stone. Ranked 9th, Cobalt Spinel, the world's rarest blue, untouched and unmatched. Cobalt Spinel is a defiant icon of purity and color intensity, among the rarest and most misunderstood gemstones worldwide. Unlike its more famous cousin, the blue sapphire, Cobalt Spinel doesn't just wear blue, it embodies it. Its vivid, almost electrifying color comes not from treatments or enhancements. Still, from the presence of natural cobalt within the crystal lattice itself, a rare geological anomaly, it's found in only a handful of localities, with Mahenge, Tanzania being the most prized. True cobalt-bearing spinels are notoriously scarce. Gem-quality stones over 1 carat are hard to come by, and anything over 2 carats borders on mythical. But what truly sets Cobalt Spinel apart is its tone. An icy deep, almost neon blue that glows with life even in low light. No iron, no heat, just pure cobalt magic. For collectors and connoisseurs, it's not just the color, it's the challenge. These gems don't flood the market, don't feature in big brand campaigns, and rarely appear twice in the same shade. Prices can range from $3,000 to $8,000 per carat, depending on clarity and saturation, but the value here goes beyond numbers. Owning a Cobalt Spinel isn't about status, it's about knowing. Because while sapphires might speak in royalty, Cobalt Spinel whispers in code, a message only true gem lovers will understand. Ranked 8th, Blue Garnet, the rarest gemstone with a mind of its own. Blue Garnet stands alone, not just because of its scarcity, but because it seems to possess a soul of its own. It radiates a mesmerizing teal-blue hue in natural daylight, calm and composed. But under incandescent light, it undergoes a stunning transformation, shifting to a vivid purplish red as if reacting to the room's mood. This dramatic color change effect, even more pronounced than that of alexandrite, is caused by trace amounts of vanadium or chromium in the crystal structure. Blue garnet is mined in only a handful of locations, notably in Beryl and Madagascar, and the supply is astonishingly limited. Clean, faceted stones above 1 carat are scarce, and anything beyond 2 carats is considered museum-worthy. Market prices range between $1,500 and $3,000 per carat, but these numbers mean little when so few examples exist in circulation. For most gem dealers, Blue garnet is something they've read about but never seen. For collectors, that level of elusiveness is precisely what makes it irresistible. Beyond its rarity, what captivates gemologists like myself is how human the stone feels. It reacts to its environment. It doesn't stay static. It's two experiences in one stone: fluid, complex, and emotionally intelligent. You don't just wear a blue garnet, you interact with it. In a world obsessed with perfection and permanence, blue garnet offers something far more compelling: transformation, unpredictability, and quiet magic that only a few will ever witness. Ranked 7th, Taaffeite, the accidental gem that changed gemology forever. Taaffeite stands out not only for its scarcity, but for the extraordinary way it was discovered, by accident and in reverse. In 1945, gemologist Richard Taaffeite purchased what was thought to be a simple spinel from a jeweler in Dublin. But something felt off. Upon closer examination, he noticed optical properties that didn't match any known gemstone. What he held wasn't spinel. It was an entirely new species of gem, later named after him. Taaffeite remains one of the few gemstones to be discovered already cut. Chemically positioned between spinel and chrysoberyl, this beryllium aluminum oxide ranges in color from soft mauves and lavenders to rose and violet, often exhibiting a silky internal glow and double refraction, a key trait that separates it from spinel. Today, it's sourced in trace amounts from Sri Lanka, Myanmar, and southern Tanzania, but gem-quality stones are scarce. Most specimens are well under 1 carat. Stones over 2 carats with fine clarity and color are not just rare, they're legendary. Some experts estimate Taaffeite is up to 1 million times rarer than diamond, and prices can range up to $15,000 per carat, depending on saturation and cut. But what makes Taaffeite truly special isn't just its beauty or rarity, it's the sheer improbability of its existence. It wasn't mined with violence or discovered through brute force. It was found by curiosity, by paying attention. Taaffeite whispers a more profound truth. Sometimes the most precious things hide in plain sight. Ranked 6th, red beryl, 1 million times rarer than diamond. Red beryl, also known as bixbite, occupies a league of its own, rarer than ruby, emerald, and diamond by staggering margins. For every 150,000 diamonds found, there's just one crystal of red beryl. Its vibrant raspberry red color isn't due to chromium like ruby, but instead trace amounts of manganese, giving it a fire unlike anything else in the beryl family. What makes this gem even more extraordinary is where and how it forms. Deep within the ancient volcanic rhyolite flows of the Wawa Mountains in Utah, under conditions so rare and volatile that no known location on Earth has ever duplicated them. Unlike aquamarine or emerald, which form in pegmatites, red beryl emerges in pressurized gas cavities, an extreme environment where most crystals are too small or too flawed to cut. Faceted stones over 1 carat are incredibly scarce, and those over 2 carats with high clarity are considered collector's treasures. Prices typically start around $5,000 per carat and can easily exceed $20,000 depending on quality. However, the stone is even more elusive than the price. Many seasoned gem dealers have never held one. Despite its beauty, red beryl remains largely unknown to the public, absent from mainstream luxury branding or red carpet moments. But to gemologists and serious collectors, it's a miracle of geological timing, a whisper of volcanic chaos frozen in crystal. You can buy a diamond with wealth or a ruby with connections, but red beryl, that takes timing, luck, and a little bit of fate, because when the Earth creates something this rare, it doesn't make it twice. Ranked 5th, Serendibite, the gemstone rarer than silence itself. Serendibite isn't just rare, it's almost mythical. This deep, otherworldly gem was first discovered in Sri Lanka, unlike anything else on Earth. Most black stones reflect some light and catch a glint here or there. Not Serendibite. It doesn't sparkle, it absorbs. Holding it is like staring into the void. With a dense chemical makeup that includes calcium, aluminum, boron, and iron, Serendibite is scientifically fascinating, but geologically unforgiving. Accurate gem-quality material has only been found in a remote pocket of Mogok, Myanmar, already famous for rubies, but hiding this darker secret in its underground veins. The mining is surgical, and the yields are microscopic. Fewer than 30 faceted Serendibite gems are known to exist, most weighing under a carat. Anything over 2 carats is considered museum-worthy, and prices, when they even come to market, can exceed $20,000 per carat. But here's the thing. Serendibite isn't beautiful in the traditional sense. It doesn't shine to impress. Instead, it draws you in like a gemstone black hole, silent, still, and commanding. This isn't a gem for those seeking glamour. It's a stone for philosophers, collectors, and seekers who crave meaning over dazzle. You don't wear Serendibite to be noticed. You wear it because you see it. And if you're ever fortunate enough to hold one, you'll understand. Some gems aren't rare because they're hidden. They're rare because the earth only makes them when no one's looking. Ranked 4th, Grandidierite, Serenity, captured in a crystal. Grandidierite stands apart not for brilliance or fire, but for something far more elusive, serenity. With its ethereal blue-green hue, somewhere between glacial teal and seafoam, kissed by sunlight, Grandidierite feels like the ocean distilled into crystal form. Discovered in 1902 on the southern coast of Madagascar, most Grandidierite found is opaque or barely translucent, making it nearly unusable for jewelry. But in rare cases, the earth gifts us with transparent, fastable crystals, gems so scarce that stones over 1 carat are already considered exceptional. Anything over 2 carats? That's a collector-level rarity. Grandidierite's optical behavior makes it even more special. It's trichroic, which reveals 3 distinct colors, blue-green, greenish, and nearly colorless, depending on the viewing angle and light source. It's like having 3 gems in one. Transparent specimens can command prices from $5,000 to over $20,000 per carat, but few make it to the open market. Most disappear into private collections before the public even knows they exist. While diamonds flash and sapphires shine, Grandidierite whispers. It's not a gem that demands attention. It rewards those who seek it quietly. For the true connoisseur, it offers something more profound than sparkle. Ranked 3rd, Jeremejevite, the silent rarity few will ever see. Jeremejevite exists not to dazzle, but to disappear into light, rarity, and memory of a lucky few. First discovered in Siberia in the 1880s by Russian mineralogist Pavel Jeremejev, this pale blue to colorless barat fluoride gemstone spent much of its early life as a scientific curiosity, known more for its chemical composition than its gemological potential. That changed only recently when tiny, high-quality crystals emerged from the deserts of Namibia, and even more rarely from Myanmar. But even then, Jeremejevite remains nearly impossible to find in jewelry-grade form. Faceted stones over 1 carat are scarce. Over 2 carats with fine clarity and color are considered museum-grade. With a hardness of around 7.5 on the Mohs scale, it's tough enough to last, but so limited in availability that most gem dealers will never handle one in their career. When cut, it doesn't flash like a diamond or burn like a ruby. It glows softly and quietly like a secret. Prices vary from $2,000 to over $10,000 per carat, depending on size and quality. But even that number feels abstract, because Jeremejevite is not about money, it's about timing. You don't search for it, you stumble into it. And when you do, you realize this is not just a rare stone. It's a lesson in presence, a reminder that true beauty doesn't always announce itself. Sometimes it just waits for someone who's paying attention. Ranked 2nd, Musgravite, the pinnacle of rarity in the gem world. Musgravite doesn't just define scarcity, it quietly rules over it. First discovered in 1967 in the remote Musgrave Ranges of South Australia, this gem sat in scientific obscurity for decades, with early samples too opaque to cut or even consider for jewelry. It wasn't until much later that a faceable crystal emerged, sending shockwaves through the gemological world. Chemically related to the Taaffeite family, Musgravite typically appears in smoky violet, muted green, or gray-blue hues, colors that don't dazzle but instead draw you in with quiet authority. Its hardness of 8 to 8.5 on the Mohs scale and strong birefringence make it durable and optically compelling. Yet what truly sets it apart isn't its appearance, its near-legendary rarity. Beyond Australia, tiny quantities have been found in places like Greenland, Madagascar, and Sri Lanka, but gem-quality stones remain so elusive that some years yield none. Faceted specimens over 1 carat are considered museum-grade, while anything above 2 carats is priceless. Where they exist, market prices can exceed $30,000 per carat, but most collectors never get the chance to buy one, because they're never even offered. Musgravite isn't the gem you show off, it's the gem you quietly protect. It doesn't seek attention because it doesn't need to. It simply exists, calm, unshakable, and impossibly rare. For those who understand true rarity, Musgravite is less a possession and more a moment, one the earth allows you to experience, if only for a brief and unforgettable second. In the first place, Painite, the rarest gemstone ever discovered. Among all known gemstones, Painite stands in a category of its own, so rare, so improbable that it was believed to be unique for decades. Discovered in the 1950s in Myanmar by British mineralogist Arthur C.D. Payne, Painite was initially misidentified as a type of tourmaline. It wasn't until years later that gemologists realized what had truly been found, an utterly new mineral, never seen before, and for a long time, never seen again. Painite is a borite mineral composed of calcium, zirconium, boron, and aluminum, with trace amounts of uranium and thorium, giving it a faint natural radioactivity. Its color ranges from brick red to brownish orange, sometimes tinged with pink, and it holds a respectable 8 on the Mohs hardness scale. Durable enough for jewelry, though almost no one dares wear it. Why? Because owning a faceted painite is less about style and more about witnessing a geological phenomenon. For decades, only 2 or 3 known crystals existed. Even today, with all modern efforts, gem-quality specimens are incredibly scarce. Fewer than a few hundred are known worldwide, and most are under 2 carats. All painite comes from a single source, the legendary Mogok region of Myanmar, and even there it appears sporadically, like nature dropping breadcrumbs that lead nowhere. The value of painite is nearly unquantifiable. Prices can exceed $50,000 or even $100,000 per carat, not for brilliance or beauty, but for what the stone represents. Impossibility made tangible. It has no look-alike, synthetic substitute, or commercial supply chain. And that's precisely why it earns the #1 spot on any serious list of the world's rarest gemstones. Because painite isn't just rare, it's unreproducible, a singular echo in the story of Earth's formation. In a world saturated with mass production and endless repetition, these 10 gemstones prove that some things remain untouched by time, trends, or technology. They are reminders that rarity endures, that beauty comes not from abundance, but from impossibility. Whether you are a collector, a jeweler, or simply a lover of the stories the earth tells through stones, these gemstones are more than objects. They are experiences as rare as the moment you first saw them. Let us know which resonates with you in the comments, and don't forget to like and subscribe to our channel for more content like this.